All right, let's just settle into our meditation. And just try and bring your body to the same place your mind is. And sometimes I think rather than rushing into our meditation practice or our meditation session, it might be an idea to think, and I'm going to do this myself. I just started thinking about this today, just stretching the body a little bit, moving the body a little bit. So you kind of get all your yayas out, as my yoga teacher calls them, before you actually sit down. So you can do a little bit of stretching, a little bit of what we did on the weekend to release the shoulders. And then you're a little bit kind of calmer when you sit. So just try and touch base with that stillness that we've been trying to get in touch with. And however it is you're showing up this evening, just know that it's perfectly fine. And check your body. We're running about 5 minutes late now, so we'll just run through it very quickly. Check your sitting position, sits bones, shoulders aligned with the hips, and just lengthen your spine. Head is slightly dipped forward. And then just release any tension from the crown of the head and just go down your face, back of your head, relax the jaw, back of the tongue and the neck and the shoulders and all of your limbs. And then try and remain lengthened. So you're lengthening, you don't allow yourself to slump over. It's kind of important. We want to keep the energy flowing. You want to keep the blood flowing, you want to keep the breath nice and easy for you to access. It's very hard to breathe when you're hunched over. Take a nice deep breath. And check whether there's sounds in your environment. Just allow them to be there and just check to see what's going on in the mind. Try not to criticize or have opinions. Just allow your thoughts to be there. And then very briefly bring to mind all those people of your life. And you know who they are. Trying to develop a sense of equanimity by remembering that they're all wishing to be happy. They all want to be free from suffering, and they all have the same capacity for enlightenment. Not just the ones we like. Of course, we think they have enlightenment capacity. So this Vajrasattva practice done in the context of the 4 opponent powers, remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, and we can change it by creating positivity with our mind instead. So we purify by applying the 4 opponent powers, and we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm anyone, any being in this life and all past lives. And you can think of specific actions of your body and your speech, and then in general, you can regret all. So the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of future suffering that we ourselves will experience. So logically, it makes sense that we would remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, What can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So you can imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. He's made of a radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this cushion, this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud. Just like our enlightened potential, born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. So his face is radiant and beautiful. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So now we come to this little section on compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently, and then in the past, and then perhaps in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then think about those who have harmed you. And we want to have compassion for them because they are going to suffer as a result of the harm they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all beings, all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. So just imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, or maybe you can even imagine a waterfall, something as powerful as maybe Niagara Falls, or maybe if that's too powerful, a little waterfall anyway, or a shower. And imagine this kind of nectar pours into you, fills your entire body completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta me boa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinopatita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinopatita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body is now completely purified. I think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the moment they feel you, the moment you touch them, when you hug them, when they can smell you as you're walking past, all be benefit for their mind. So the next is a purification of speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. It arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body. Except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just as it's kind of similar to when you're filling up a glass in a sink, you can just imagine like maybe a glass full of yogurt or milk, and it kind of floats to the top and overflows. But I've also heard Lama Rinpoche say that it's almost like forcefully overflowing, like someone's blowing a hat off the top of your head. So you'll get different visualizations and different commentaries from different teachers. Anyway, but the point is to imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you and overflowing. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta me boa sabasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anarakta me boa sabasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra ahum pe. So now feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So you can just imagine that the moment every single syllable falls out of your mouth is of benefit to somebody else's mind and your own, because you'll hear it. So the next is a purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you just flick on the switch, and that light instantly dispels the darkness in the room. So you can just imagine as soon as the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits or touches your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness and anger and depression and resentment and anxieties and jealousies and bitterness and grudges, all of this instantly dispelled as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sabasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sabasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sabasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sabasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sabasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sabasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra aham pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering, our own delusions, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is a purification of the imprints of negativity of body, speech, and mind. So that's just all just the very, very subtle energetic level here. So you can imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar from his heart, arcs around and pours into you through the crown of your head. It just eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. So it's like kind of getting rid of that smell of garlic in a jar. You know, you've already washed it thoroughly, but it still kind of slightly smells. So we're just kind of getting that last little bit out as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kamasutsa Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kamasutsa Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kamasutsa Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kamasutsa Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kamasutsa Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kamasutsa Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mipi Yatsa Sawa Kamasutsa Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Aham Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. Not one atom of negativity is left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So next is the power of resolve, and the fourth and quite crucial step in this purification process is making a decision to refrain from harming with your body and your speech and your mind. And so kind of without this sort of determination, we're not going to ever get around to doing anything. So you have to just decide. I mean, if you need to get up and go to the kitchen and get something to eat, you have to make a decision to do that. So it's the same with anything we do. And no less when we want to change a habit. We have to really work at that a little bit, I think. We have to make a decision. First of all, we have to recognize the habit that we do that's harmful to ourselves and others, and then give ourselves a timeline for that habit. So 5 seconds or a minute, or overnight while you're sleeping. So this determination to not do again is what gives us the strength to change. So we just have to decide. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a little while. So we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can just think perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit and the positive energy you've created doing this purification practice tonight to all those people of your life, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And we'll do some long life prayers here. Just try and make sure, encourage our precious teachers to stay around a little bit longer. For His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, O Tup Shu Chang Xin Jam Gon Galloway, Tenzin Kyong Pelaway, Kunzo Dog Porze, Chog Sum Kurway Leg Mon Tu Dru, Pa Dog Sog Dulje, Kondu Jab Ten Shok. Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors for those wanderers and far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. And for Geshe-Share, a beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. So there we are, again, gone like a dream. Lots of love, everybody. We lost Dani in the process of the meditation. So lovely to see you. Thank you for hosting, Coral and Michael. All the best with your retreat. I rejoice. Phyllis, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming. Kathleen, nice to see you. Lorraine, nice to see you there somewhere. Thank you, Elizabeth, Kodo, and Nick. Sleep well, everybody. Sweet dreams. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.